So I'm delighted now to introduce the co-director of the AAAI and now associate curator of modern contemporary art, Aleesa Alexander.
Hi, everyone. I'm thrilled to be welcoming us to our afternoon portion of today's festivities. I'm here to speak about a wonderful collaboration that was put together for my exhibition, East of the Pacific, Making Histories of Asian American Art, which is now on view at the Cantor and runs through February 12th. So I encourage everyone to check it out while you can. This exhibition, which is collections focused and the largest of the 3 inaugural exhibitions of the AAAI, is a selective historical and thematic survey of Asian American art and features work almost entirely drawn from the Cantor's collection. The checklist spans a vast chronological range, and the earliest works date from the mid-19th century and the latest from just last year. Are you guys getting any feedback? Is this okay? I'm hearing it's okay. Yeah, just it's a little fuzzy on my end. So in thinking about ways to activate this more historical material, the Cantor teamed up with the Stanford Arts Incubator Pilot Program and the Institute for Diversity in the Arts to commission the artist group for you to create a set of original audio tours for the exhibition. So here's an installation shot from the beginning of the exhibition. So I've certainly said this elsewhere, but in general, I'm not a fan of audio tours. I don't find them to add much to exhibitions if they simply repeat didactic information that's already available on the label, except for accessibility reasons. I generally don't engage with them. So we considered this a challenge and an experiment, and I couldn't be happier with the outcome. Erika, Ryan, and Andrew have created 3 immersive, unique audio experiences around specific themes, interviewing Asian American community members to respond to works in the exhibition, offering personal recollections, critical reflections, and intimate points of view. In doing so, they help decenter the authority of the curatorial voice and bring community voices into the gallery space. These tours are works of art in their own right. I encourage everyone to bring their personal headphones to East of the Pacific and take some time to experience them. Each tour is between 12 to 18 minutes long. For You is comprised of Erika, Chong, Shuch, and Ryan Tacata with contributions from Word Pace. They create original participatory performances that bring strangers together for intimate encounters. For You projects range from one-to-one performances to large-scale, evening-length theatrical works. Each performance is grounded in the lived experience of their participant collaborators. Their works include First Things First, which ran from 2019 to 2020 at the Momentary, Artists and Elders, which is online and ongoing, Dr. G's Bingo Extravaganza, which was mounted this year at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, and The Welcoming, which is forthcoming. It was such a pleasure to work with Erika and Ryan on this project, and I'm thrilled to welcome them here to share with you how they put these tours together.
Thank you, Aleesa. We're so happy to be here.
I know, thank you so much.
We're so happy that we're going to stand. This feels good. Hey.
Hi.
I'm Erika Chong Shuch.
I'm Ryan Tacata, and we're For You.
With Rowena Ritchie, our 3rd collaborator. We're so happy that Rowena's here too.
And as Aleesa mentioned, we make performances by getting to know people. We get really curious about their lives, and we share stories, and then in response, we create aesthetic experiences.
Yeah, so sometimes, as Aleesa mentioned, the performances are one-to-one encounters. Sometimes they are big theatrical extravaganzas. Sometimes it might be a performance in a bingo hall. But sometimes we're working with large communities as crucial collaborators within the work. But at the core of all of our projects, we like to think about performance making as gift giving and performance making as an opportunity to bring diverse groups of strangers together. So our practice is rooted in new and unique ways of getting to know people, i.e. like flirting. I feel like we're professional flirters as a practice. It's rigorous.
So, so with the East of the Pacific exhibition, we took a slightly different route. Erika and I sort of felt out this collection of curated artworks for emergent themes. And then themes like, I don't know, like family bonds of loss, or the kinds of like poetic and political attachments that we have to neighborhoods, or like the lushness of like grown vegetables and families and the natural world. So with those themes, we started to stitch together some tours. And as they started to take shape, we reached out to a number of AAPI folk around the Bay Area as our tour guides. And those tour guides include folk like, up at the top, Bijun, who is a multimedia artist based in Chinatown, Leon, who's a longtime housing rights activist that has ties to San Francisco Chinatown, and Hoi, who's the curator at the Chinese Culture Center. Yeah, Hoi, come on, yeah! Is Hoi here? Yeah!
We're gonna pause until Hoi is in the room. A moment of silence. Hoi! Can we all yell Hoi? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Hoi!
Didn't work, Rayan.
Well,
Yeah, text her.
and so we used those artworks as conversation prompts, like old school dinner conversation prompts, and we let the conversation kind of run wild, and we learned things like, the pleasures of like the queer halation of LED lights around the old family association buildings, or the kind of like sound marks of rolly bags and like how they click on sidewalks as this sort of shared sonic space of Chinatown. And then David Yoshimura, we met, we found him through Instagram. There's a painting in the exhibition. It's a depiction of Persimmons, this 19th century painting from Toshio Aoki. And I was on Instagram sort of like looking for hashtags around Hoshigaki to see like, oh, who's doing that in the area? And we found David. And David's a Japanese-American chef. He's the head chef of Nisei in San Francisco. And it was so fun to talk with him about persimmons from his like chef mouth and like the really particular like language that chefs have around food. To be able to have that language and listen to it as you're looking at this painting of persimmons. And then Mas Masamoto, who my dad connected us to, because they grew up in Sanger, California. It's this really small farming town in the Central Valley. And Moss is an author and environmentalist and a farmer of organic peaches and a kind of darling of, the world, but California and you name it. And with Moss, we learned, about the poetics of organic peach farming. And the long sort of roots that his family has, these long generational roots that are connected to the land and connected to Japanese American identity. And that was really exciting.
I love that Moss pitched us a project. Remember that he had this idea, he's like, I got an idea for a project in which we send peaches, individual peaches in small boxes to a wide variety of people, and each person has to make a video of themselves eating the peach. And we use this as kind of like an ethnographic or anthropological experiment to look at how different people like handle the juice of a peach. So I just loved that this farmer was like, I have an idea for an art project, right? So like these art making experiences are so satisfying because they bring people across discipline together to engage in this process of like, what if kind of imaginings, right? So in addition to flirting, we're also like the what if people. So one of our what ifs was to talk to Philip Kangotanda, who's down here with his puppy. And Philip Kangotanda is one of the most produced Japanese American playwrights in the country, and he contributed a poem / like one-man show monologue for the audio tours that features a man who drives his fist into the earth. He drives his fist into the earth at the Topaz concentration camp, and he wills the growth of a daikon. So this more poetic response is juxtaposed against some of these more personal anecdotes from some of the other folks that we spoke with. We were also so happy that we got to meet Masako Takahashi up there and to the right, whose work is featured in the exhibit. And we were so moved to talk with her. She had so many things to say around her personal history. For those of you that don't know her or her story, she was born in the Topaz concentration camps, grew up in San Francisco, and we spent a lot of time talking about her upbringing, particularly her connection to her mother. So all of the other audio tours, the 2 other audio tours, are kind of like fragmented collages, kind of like imagistic responses where we bump up these diverse voices up against one another. But we were really excited with Misako to have one whole tour kind of follow her. So one whole tour in which she is kind of the primary narrator. So we would love to share with you just a 1-minute excerpt of that tour.
Hello, and welcome to the Masako Takahashi tour. When you hear this sound, move to the next artwork.
My mother was born in San Francisco. She was very good at making things. She was very talented, and anything she turned her attention to, she was artful. I remember her hands as she aged, because she had, I guess it's arthritis in her knuckles. And I felt for her because she was so dexterous all her life. So for her hands to hurt was was a real minus aspect for her. And I realize now that the swollenness of her knuckles and probably were painful, and I guess I didn't appreciate that at the time until you mention it.
One thing I love about this tour is you hear this kind of moment of like present tense discovery where she has this kind of like aha moment about her mom. So there's a very kind of like spontaneous intimacy that happened in a lot of the conversations, but particularly in this moment. And so for me, I feel like I have this really intimate connection to Misako through this story, and thus I have this intimate connection to this watercolor painting of hands, right? And so I think that there's a way that we learned to forge this kind of intimacy with all of the works through the lenses of all of the folks that we spoke to. We're so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for having us, Marcy and Aleesa, and thank you for all of the work that you all have done to bring this to life. It's stunning, and we're so honored to be a part of it.
Thank you very much.
We hope you all go see the audio tour. Yeah, thank you.
Bring your headphones.